All right, let's go now to Alexey Muraviev, who is an associate professor of national security and strategic studies at Curtin University. He joins me from Perth in Australia. Professor, this $40 billion aid package from the U.S. that looks like it's going to get approved, President Biden has not wanted to appear as if the U.S. is fighting a proxy war with Russia. But does this additional funding and military aid just draw the U.S. even deeper into this conflict, despite Biden's efforts to not become directly involved?
It certainly does, because the package would allow the Ukrainian military not just receive military hardware. I think a lot of this money will be spent on training the Ukrainian military to operate this equipment. And we're not talking about, for example, pilots being trained to operate aircraft or tankers being taught to operate how to drive Western tanks, or gunners trained to operate how to fire artillery systems that they will be supplied. But a lot will go into training up logistical personnel, support personnel. Perhaps there is going to be a requirement for the support infrastructure, and certainly the intelligence sharing. The intelligence sharing in its own right suggests that the United States is already indirectly involved in the conflict, particularly with recent media reports which point out that without U.S. vital intelligence, the Ukrainians wouldn't be successful in killing or targeting Russian generals, or even sinking the Moskva guided missile cruiser, the flagship of the Russian Black Sea Fleet.
What does this all mean for the longevity of this war? I mean, all indications are pointing to Putin thinking it was only going to be a matter of days, maybe just weeks. But are we looking at potentially months, years here, possibly another situation like Afghanistan where it just never ends?
Look, I mean, we need to understand that the Russian military is pretty adaptive. They're learning from their mistakes. They've taken on board everything that they have done wrong in the months of late February, March. They're adjusting their strategies, and they're gearing up for a long-term campaign because they haven't changed the objective. In fact, what they've been declaring, there's certainly been a significant reduction of their public declarations about their actions and about their forthcoming strategy, is to take not the control of the entire Ukraine, but Ukraine's vital regions, including cut Ukraine completely off its maritime flank, deny Ukraine access to the Black Sea, secure the strategically vital port of Odessa, and push them further westward. So to achieve all of these objectives, which definitely go way beyond the so-called liberation of Donbass, will take months. And I think the Russians are ready for it. They feel comfortable with this. The question is whether the West is prepared to support Ukraine on such prolonged basis, because on one hand, there is a clear declaration, including coming from members of the G7 group. They don't want to see Ukraine lose this war, and more importantly, they don't want to see Russia win this war. But we need to remember, even if we'll flood Ukraine with military hardware, with military support, with financial support, Ukraine is losing because it's losing its citizens that are getting killed on a daily basis. And Ukraine may be winning militarily, but it may be winning some sort of battles at the tactical level. But whether the country will actually lose strategically because its economy is in ruins and it's losing population through a massive exodus of refugees, and also through really heavy casualties on the battlefront, as well as civilian fatalities. And I don't think the West is really coming forward on that front.
Okay, we'll leave it there for now. Alexey Muraviev joining us from Perth, Australia. Thank you.